Hey, look, I called it.
It took me a second to realize that I was screaming. What I saw dug its way through my eyes and buried itself into my brain.
Why is it pink?
Because Danganronpa. And then, everything went black. That's what signifies the halfway point.
Her dying after the game intentionally tells you to makes you bond with her and all this shit. Her being the first to die, that totally didn't see that coming.
Crazy. I have to see for myself. I have to see if Sayaka is.
You can check once, twice, 1,000 times. Ellipses is ellipses, ellipses.
No, I have to see for myself. Listen to us, man. What do you think's gonna happen if you go out there? Well, what good is it if I'm just gonna be sitting around here? I mean, why are we all hanging out in the gym at a time like this? Our friend Sayaka, she's she's dead. Dead. When I said that, it finally hit me. I realized she really was gone.
Calm down.
None of us want to be right here right now either. Then why? Shouldn't it be obvious? Mana Kuma, he told us all to come here. It's not a good idea to defy him without reason.
Correct.
We don't need to make any more sacrifices than we already have. Why should we listen to anything he has to say?
He's an ass.
It's obvious he's the one who killed Sayaka.
Wrong.
Or do that. If you can believe anything, you can believe that. He's here again.
Wow, what gave you that idea?
Unless someone violates a school regulation, I absolutely will not interfere. I can promise you, I won't do anything that goes against the purpose of your school life here.
Listen up.
I'm famous at safari parks throughout the world for following the Bear Times One rule. The one who killed her is one of you. Nobody had a reply for that. One of us had killed Sayaka? Don't be stupid. That's. Don't you remember what I told you when this all began?
No, give me a minute. Let me go check.
Oh,
You're
wait.
lying, right? Of course
Of
he's not.
course,
This shit, I thought that was still me.
of course he's lying. I'm telling you, he killed her.
That's ellipses. Before ellipses. If one of us really did ellipses, ellipses, ellipses.
Huh?
Come on.
Don't play ellipses. That's what you said, isn't it? If we ellipses someone, you get to ellipses.
What?
Why are you laughing? It's cuz naive. You're just so naive. You think it's really that easy? You could just kill someone and waltz on out of here?
Hey.
You're super naive. Devilishly naive. Hellishly naive. Oh no, no. The real thing has just begun. The real thing?
Now then.
Are you ready? Allow me to explain the second part of the rule regarding graduation. Just like I explained before, you must kill someone if you want to leave. However, even if you do that, there's still one more part of the agreement you have to uphold, remember?
Then perhaps.
You're referring to rule number 6 of the school regulations. If you are blackened, that if you are the blackened that committed the murder, you can't be found out by any of the other students. That is what you're talking about, is it not?
In other words,
No, it's not enough to kill just someone. You have to actually get away with it. Which naturally means you need a system in place to assess whether or not it's been gotten away with.
yahoo!
So a certain amount of time after a murder has taken place, a class trial will begin. Class trial? Yep! It'll begin a few hours after the murder. Everyone will gather together, including the blackened who committed the murder. And they and the spotless students will engage in one big debate showdown.
During the trial, you'll have to present your arguments about who you think the blackened is. And once everything comes to an end, the outcome will be decided by popular vote. If the answer you've arrived at is correct, only the one that disturbed your peace will be punished. The rest may continue their communal life. However, if you choose poorly, then the one who got away with murder will survive, and the rest of you will receive your punishment. Which of course means your school life will come to an end. As far as class trial rules go, that's all there is to it. Well,
So, what exactly is this punishment you keep talking about?
Well, to put it simply, it's execution!
Woo, baby! Execution!
what?
And by execution, you mean...
Execution is execution. Electric chair. Bzz, bzz, poison gas. Torn apart like a paper plane in a hurricane.
So, to make sure I understand, if we get the culprit right, not sure. If we get the culprit right, then only they die. But if we get it wrong, all the rest of us get executed!
Well done.
What a smart little chimpanzee you are! Look at you, implying you didn't do it without actually saying it. So it's basically what the outside world calls a lay judge system, or an inquisition type thing. Which means you'll be deciding who you think the killer is. But judge carefully, because all your lives are on the line. Guilty parties exposed during class trial, they alone will be executed. The guilty party is not exposed, they alone will graduate, and all the remaining students will be executed.
Wait! Hold on a
What
second.
the hell are you talking about?
You're freaking insane. You know that.
Huh?
Hmm?
What the?
A class trial. What the hell is that? I don't want anything to do with it.
What's this?
Why not?
Stop it!
What do you mean? Why not? Why do I have to waste my time trying to figure out who murdered someone?
What?
What? Are you saying that you're not going to participate in the trial? Only punishment awaits such blasphemy.
The hell are you talking about?
What punishment?
I don't know. Throw you in a deep, dark, scary prison or something.
Shut the hell up!
Shut the hell up. Say whatever you want. I'm not gonna be part of this.
I don't
Don't
believe.
be so selfish.
Stop it!
You're the one being selfish. Kill whoever you want. It's got nothing to do with me.
The evil standing here before me, I'm trembling with fear.
Shing!
But I'm not given to such evil. It's my style to stick it out and resist till the very end. If you really want to get out of here, you'll have to go through me first. As he said that, he came charging at us, although it was more of a waddle. But then,
Are you enjoying yourself now? Are you? Huh? Violence against Headmaster Monokuma is not allowed. You violated a school regulation. I invoke the mighty summon spell. Help! To me, godly spear, Gunyear!
wasn't supposed to. Why me?
Suddenly, right at the end, her eyes shut wide open. And just like that, she never moved again.
No!
I was preparing my fucking ears for that, dude. Now I am painfully aware of the great power and meaning of a promise. Really wanted to keep a corpse from popping up for no good reason, you know. But I guess you all needed to be taught a lesson, after all. What an amazing promise. But now you guys understand, right?
Now you see just how serious I am. Defy me and you get shot full of holes, exploded, buried alive, disintegrated, etc. So, if you don't want that to happen to you, you'd best obey those school regulations.
Why did you have to kill her? Didn't you say you would put her in prison or something? I changed my mind.
Damn, boy! He's thick!
Anyway, none of that matters right now. I have something I'd like to give you and help you search for the blackened. This little file has all the information I gathered about the death in question. I like to call it.
It's the Monokuma file!
I mean, surely you guys are an expert at this kind of thing, so you can only do so much with a corpse. So instead, I've gathered up everything I know about the circumstances and cause of death. What's that? How do I know the cause of death, you ask? Because the surveillance cameras picked up the whole thing. I got to see it all go down.
So then.
Wait, so then you know who killed Sayaka? Of course I do. If I didn't, I couldn't possibly pass a fair, accurate judgment during the trial, now could I?
Correct.
That's a good point. The judge has to be able to make the proper decision. That's somehow comforting.
Well,
Now then, please put your full effort behind your investigation. After all, you don't have any choice but to give it your best shot. Seriously, you don't have a choice. Okay, so we'll all meet up for a class trial in a little while.
I don't even know why you bothered to check after ellipses. Frankly, I'd be ellipses if she did ellipses.
Huh? Hold on. Hold on. Just wait a second. She's dead, and that means...
What?
That means everything that's happened so far is real? It's not a joke or whatever? It's really real?
Get out of here!
Hell no! Someone save me! Let me out of here! Somebody help me!
What's your problem?
You're just now accepting that?
So you finally noticed.
What the crap?
Noticed what?
I was looking through Monokuma's file we received. I noticed something very obvious and very unusual. Damn it. Go ahead, take a look. Notice anything interesting about where Sayaka died? She died in Makoto's dorm.
Yep, she's right.
All once.
All at once, everyone's gaze turned onto me. Hold on a second. You've got it all wrong. For just one night, I traded rooms with her. I did it because she was afraid. You expect us to believe that? Just tell us the truth. The look in everyone's eyes had done a complete 180 from just a few minutes early. The feeling of suspicion and fear had returned. In other words, you think I did it.
Hey,
Before we start searching for Sayaka's killer, we need to decide what to do about securing the crime scene. What do you mean?
You're thinking of someone putting on ellipses duty so nobody can ellipses the area, aren't you? After all, if it goes to destroy the ellipses, we're pretty much ellipses.
In that case, I don't mind doing it. I don't like having to think, anyway. I'll let you guys figure out who killed the chick. Okay, then we can let Mondo look after the scene.
Well, no. Can't just leave him there alone.
What?
What? Why the hell not?
Isn't it obvious? If you were the culprit, what's the first thing you would do? By volunteering for guard duty, you're in a position to destroy all the evidence you want.
Fuck you.
So then.
Fine. Then I'll stay there on guard duty as well. That way there's no problem.
Oh, then.
Are we all done talking? We need to begin our investigation soon. At this point, we should split up. We need to get to the bottom of this and find out who killed Sayaka. We'll have to collect the clues to form a foundation, then construct an argument to come to a final decision. If we get this wrong,
So.
well, do we really have to say any more?
Yeah.
Even if I wanted to, I couldn't help but investigate. Wait, why not? I'm not good with blood. All it takes is one glimpse and I black out. Does everyone really think I'm the killer? How did it turn out like this? Seriously, they've got it all wrong. Why do they have to suspect me? I have to do something. Otherwise, everyone will... Guess I should look at the Monokuma file we got before. The victim was Sayaka Maizono. Time of death is estimated to be about 1:30 a.m. The body was discovered in Makoto's room, in the dormitory. Evidence suggests that the death took place in the bathroom. The cause of death was a stab wound to the abdomen. There was also an injury to her right wrist. Specifically, the wrist appears to have suffered a fracture.
She was stabbed, dipshit.
Monokuma file number 1 has been added to the truth bullet section of your handbook.
It'd be funny if all the characters who die are just the ones I voice.
First of all, I should have seen the crime, which is my room. There won't be any progress without investigating that. Hey, Kyoko. Quietly called her name while she was in the area. But
What are you doing?
Isn't it obvious?
No, not really.
I'm searching.
Searching?
she was down on her knees, carefully inspecting every inch of my room.
Did you lose a contact or something?
I don't know what she's doing exactly, but she seems to be concentrating pretty hard on it. This is the replica sword I brought back for self-defense. Does this mean it was used in the attack somehow? And plus, it's been taken out of its sheath. If I hadn't actually looked at the blade itself till now, I shouldn't be surprised that it's coated in gold too. On top of that, some of the gold coating had come off in parts where the blade and the handle. Yeah, the handle especially is missing lots of gold coating. Remember, the coating sticks to you even if you just touch it a little bit. Replica sword added to the truth bullets. There's a key on the ground. It's got my name on it, so it must be mine. If I remember correctly. That's right, left her keys. When we switched our rooms, we switched keys too. So Sayaka would have had the key here in my room the entire time. But wait, that's true, then how did the killer get into the room in the first place? Could Sayaka have forgotten to lock the door? No, that seems impossible. After saying that, there's no way she would have forgotten to lock it, or opened it for any reason. Well, maybe she dropped the key somewhere and someone else grabbed it or something. Nah, that's not possible either. Sayaka was in here when we switched rooms. And with how scared she was, she wouldn't have gone walking around, so she couldn't have dropped it. So how did the killer... Added switching rooms to the evidence. Replica sword brought back for self-defense. This mean he was using the attack somehow? And the sword's been taken out, so it's just a sheath. Huh? There's some scratches on the sheath. Must have been made with something sharp. But how'd the sheath get scratched up in the first place? Even if someone used a sword during the struggle, does it make sense for the sheath to be damaged? I mean, if you're gonna attack someone with a sword, the first thing you do is unsheath it. A heavy sheath like this would only get in the way. You just slide off in the middle of the fight. So why are there scratches on the sheath? Replica sword sheath had been added to the evidence. There are scratches and gouges on my walls and bed. Is that evidence of a struggle? Looks like there must have been some kind of fight in my room. Damn it! I was right there, in the other room. If only I had heard something.
Wait.
That would not have been possible. Hmm? Don't you remember? All of our rooms are completely soundproof. Or something could happen in a room right next to you, and there's no way you could know.
Kid, the auto is slow as shit.
Perhaps this was another one of Monokuma's strategies, creating an ideal setting for murder. Evidence of a struggle added to the evidence. Toolkit's still inside the drawer. Don't see anything evidence that it's been used at all. Which makes sense, I guess. I mean, it's fine. I haven't had any reason to open it. Can't even imagine a situation where I'd need a toolkit like that.
Yo.
Yeah, seriously. Oh, Manda.
Why?
We ain't exactly in the mood to be building fucking furniture, right? So you haven't used yours either, then?
Why?
Not just me. Nobody's busted theirs out yet, as far as I know. Actually, we were talking about it yesterday.
By the way.
None of the guys have opened their toolkits yet, because, like, why the hell would we? Toolkit's been added to the truth bullet section of the handbook.
Wow, if I had a nickel for every time a character named Sakura in an anime style media was a good character, I've had one nickel.
Killer could have already destroyed some evidence, right? Before anyone found the body, I mean. There's a trash room in the dorms, right? They could have tossed some stuff in there. Yeah, that's definitely possible. Oh, well, that's new dialogue. Just as I suspected, there's something very unusual about your room. Unusual? What do you mean?
So,
I searched your floor from one corner to another, and I didn't find one single strand of hair. Really.
indeed.
Not one hair from the victim, and not one hair from you, even though you've been living in here. You know, now that you mention it, I noticed something while I was looking around before. It looked like the lint roller in my room had been used, but I never touched it. Could someone have used it too?
I see.
Very interesting. The room didn't have a single hair in it, and someone used your lint roller without your knowledge. In other words, someone other than you came in and scrubbed your room clean.
Monokuma. He
Was
never.
it Sayaka or the killer?
Well,
That's the question, isn't it? Makoto's room cleanliness been added to the evidence. The bathroom. And on the other side of this door. Nickelodeon goo!
That's been bothering me since we first started this. So she's-
Yeah. I looked past Sayaka to the wall behind her. And there I saw... Written in blood were the numbers 11037.
I played enough Ace Attorney to know I should look at it weirdly. If you have my webcam, you'd see that I'm like looking at it upside down. Oh my god, she said the killer! It was Leon from Pokemon Sword and Shield!
Pulled out the Monokuma file to verify what it said about her body. Some sort of sharp object had been thrust into her. That must have been the killing blow.
What gave you that idea?
But whatever they used to kill her, where'd they get it?
Bathroom.
According to the Monokuma file, Sayaka's right wrist is broken. The wrist does look swollen and bloody, that's for sure. But there's something sort of glittery there on her wrist. Right there where her wrist is all swollen. There's something glittery. That definitely concerns me. Another thing that concerns me is there's some blood on her left index finger. But that's it. The palms of both her hands are totally spotless, so how come only her left finger?
I wonder why.
Yeah. Sayaka's wrist added to the evidence. Stab wound in her stomach is what killed her, so when she broke her wrist, that must have happened earlier on. I mean, how would her wrist get broken after she'd already been killed? So it's very possible she broke her wrist during the struggle. The killer attacked Sayaka in the main room, which is when her wrist got broken. After that, the killer cornered her in the bathroom, where they inflicted a deadly wound.
It would seem.
Looks like you found it, right, Makoto? The bloody numbers, that's most likely Sayaka's passage. Never seen something written in blood before. If it really was her final message, it's as if she wrote it with her life itself.
Right.
Do you often talk like that, an inspiring poet? The numbers she wrote, what do they mean? What do the numbers mean, Mason? 11037. I have no idea what that could possibly mean. There we go. Dying message added to the evidence. There's one other thing I wanted to ask you about. Do you know how the door to your bathroom got broken? Broken? Oh, you mean how it gets stuck?
What?
Gets stuck. Yeah, I guess I'm the only one. But the door doesn't fit in the frame quite right. When I first tried to use it, I thought it was just locked. Once you learned the trick, it opens no problem. Bathroom door frame added to the evidence.
Correct.
So the door doesn't quite fit the frame, huh? But actually, I'm referring to the broken doorknob. The doorknob?
That's right.
Didn't notice? Well, just try closing the bathroom door. I'm sure you'll see right away what I'm talking about. Did what Kyoko said and shut the bathroom door. Huh? Doorknob. What the heck? The doorknob's practically about to fall off. Why is it like this?
They probably broke the door down.
It would seem.
Someone must have used a screwdriver or something similar to unscrew it. Whatever it was, it's obvious this was intentional. What? It was intentional? Why would somebody want to do that?
So.
I guess maybe they were trying to get the door unlocked and ended up breaking the whole thing. My bathroom door doesn't have a lock on it. Only the girls' bathrooms can lock, right? Bathroom doorknob added to the evidence. I still don't really understand any of this, but I've already given my room a good once-over. Maybe I should look somewhere else. Should start looking into where the murder weapon might have come from. And also, should look into that DVD Sayaka got. Sayaka dead, I have no choice but to see her for myself what was in that video. On top of that, I'm sure there were some other areas worth checking out too. Maybe I should see what everyone else thinks. Even if they'll talk to me, that is. Huh? This is definitely my room, but the nameplate has Sayaka's name on it. This is Sayaka's room, right? The nameplate has mine. Nameplates on my room and Sayaka's room were switched? So all that effort I put into switching rooms without anyone knowing was totally pointless. But why would anyone do that? Door and nameplates added to the evidence. There can only be one thing in the trash can. Yep, the DVD with Sayaka's name on it. Sayaka got really upset after seeing whatever was in that video. I wonder, what did she see? Might not be directly related to the case, but it might be worth checking out anyways. Sorry, Sayaka. I need to borrow this.
Seems like
Something doesn't seem right. Monokuma file said Sayaka was killed in your room. I just can't stop thinking about it. Could it be the nameplate?
Let me say it just this.
Most
I absolutely will not allow you to dispose of any evidence in the trash room.
You really think I'm guilty?
Now that the game is possibly leading on to Leon, I want to check his
Hey, you
toolkit.
bastard.
Hold up, hey. What the hell do you think you're doing? Huh?
I mean, seriously?
How does my room have anything to do with the investigation? I suppose it's a natural reaction to someone trying to go in your room without permission. There's a sturdy gate here. No way to get past.
Monokuma appears!
It's the end of the line. The trash room. This is where all the trash in the school eventually winds up. How do you get this gate open?
No, you can't go any further!
No entry beyond this point. Only person on cleaning duty is allowed in. Cleaning duty?
No, you can't go any further!
No entry beyond this point. Only the person on cleaning duty is allowed in. Who's on cleaning duty?
No, you can't go any further!
No entry point beyond this point. Only the person on cleaning duty is allowed in. This is stupid. It'd be faster to just go around and ask the others.
No, you can't go any further!
No, I'm not even letting you read that one.
Cleaning duty has been added to the evidence. I don't know why, but being in the dining hall helps me, calm. So, I know I shouldn't, but I've just been kind of hanging around here. To tell the truth, I was doing the same thing last night when Sayaka was killed. There are all kinds of kitchen knives here, big to small, but looks like one of them's missing. Is it missing from the very beginning? Or I better see if anyone here knows more about it. Kitchen knife set added to the evidence. Toko, can you tell me anything about cleaning duty? Cleaning duty?
What's your problem?
Like I know anything about that. Taka's the one who cares about stupid organizational stuff like that. Be able to use this to see what's on the DVD. The DVD that Sayaka threw in the garbage. Sat down in front of the screen and put the DVD into player. Push play, and the screen was dark for a few seconds. Then, an image slowly appeared. Looked like some kind of concert. Standing on stage in front and center was a face I recognized all too well. Sayaka. She was there, along with the friend she said had been so important to her. She was positively glowing there in front of the crowd, so full of life. Seeing that image made it even harder to accept. Except that she was dead. My vision started to blur and darken, and then the voice I'd come to despise so much began to float out of the speakers.
Me too, Makoto. Me too.
Sayaka Maizono, the ultimate pop sensation, lead singer for a world-famous all-girl pop band. For these girls, the glowing spotlight only made them that much more beautiful. But then...
Suddenly, the screen went dark. And in the next moment, saw something I could hardly believe. What the? Sayaka had disappeared from the stage, which was now in ruins. What I noticed even more than that was the figures of the other girls who had all simply collapsed.
This ultra-successful team suddenly fell apart. None of them will ever perform on stage again. None of them will ever feel the warmth of the spotlight. For Sayaka, there's simply nowhere for her to return to. So here's the billion-dollar question. What, oh what, could have caused the group to go to pieces?
That warning, the video cut off. What the hell? That wasn't real, right? They're a super famous pop group. Everyone knows who they are. Is he trying to say he was even able to get them? That really did happen. Everyone in the outside world must be going crazy. What kind of person would take things that far?
Cleaning duty, eh? As a matter of fact, Monokuma came and talked to me yesterday morning.
Really?
Listen to me.
All I realized was basically in charge, so he decided to talk to me directly. The topic of conversation was assigning cleaning duty.
Oh, so you're on cleaning duty now?
That's wrong.
Actually, no!
Okay, then who is?
Hifumi was also there. When we had this conversation, he volunteered right away, so I let him have it.
So he's on cleaning duty then.
Count on it.
Indeed. But we'll swap out on a weekly basis. I'm sure you'll be up before too long.
Got it.
And when that time comes, I'll be counting on you!
I'm looking for whoever's on cleaning duty.
What do you mean, Billy? As a matter of fact, that's me. Why do you ask?
Just so happens, Monokuma talked to me yesterday and asked me, or, never mind.
What?
That's you.
Oh.
It just so happens Monokuma talked to me yesterday and asked me to take care of it. Without someone on cleaning duty, the halls would be flooded with trash in no time. Especially because I'm eating all the cheese and poofs. I was gonna start this morning, but after what happened, I would have a chance to get started.
And since you're on cleaning duty, you can open the gate in front of the trash room.
Here we go.
Of course. It's a job to get up all the trash and toss it in the trash room.
Oh, fuck.
Oh, Jesus, dude. I think you just turned into like a 30-year smoker.
And to do that, they gave me this key for the trash room. We're supposed to rotate once a week, so Angela, you'll be in charge.
Very strange.
Wait, hold on. You need a key to get in the trash room. One person on cleaning duty has access to the key. What's the point of going all that trouble? Why not just leave the trash room open all the time so we can just all throw things in whenever we want? That doesn't seem more
That does seem more convenient.
So, in other words,
actually.
Blackwood, graduate unless you're discovered.
so that's it.
That must be why. If I were to go in the trash room, whatever they wanted, destroying evidence would be easy. The thrill would be disappear, and the things would become boring.
Anyway, on another topic, Fumi, since you were on cleaning duty, I have a favor to ask you.
What? So now you suddenly want to join my party? But you haven't traded that flag yet. I mean, you haven't even helped me recover from my past trauma, or sell a village, or even be a boss.
No, nothing like that. I was just hoping to get into the trash room and look around.
Oh! Okay!
So easy. So Fumi and I headed down to the trash room.
No, it's not easy.
Hey, what's up, guys? It's Miyaki Otogami, and here I'm gonna be a complete asshole and ruin everything.
Just literally.
You'd like me to open the gate, wouldn't you? You know, when I look at it, it makes me think if they said he killed his wife, he would have to get by on the inside. But enough, stop dreaming. Get a busy living, or get busy dying his head. So him and Rita, they found themselves a way out.
Now you actually kind of sound like Cartman. Whatever, please just hurry up.
Okie dokie, leave it to me. However, Mr. Aggie,
Without a doubt.
surely you aren't planning to use the trash room to
Destroy evidence. Are you?
You a thief! You planned this all along!
No. I just wanted to see if the actual killer had tried to destroy any evidence or not.
potential killer is you, isn't it? You wanted to see if you left behind anything. Wait, maybe a parallel world?
Whatever, let's just hurry up and keep looking. Jesus Christ. Jesus.
Oh, okay. I
John.
think I'm burning myself.
I was just saying, I don't think you need to smoke anything. I think you just need to do this voice for 30 years and you'll just die.
Fuck.
There are shards of broken glass scattered around in front of the incinerator. Looks like it's used as some kind of glass ball. Just about big enough to fit in the palm of your hand.
Is this perhaps...
Is that?
You know what this is?
They say if you collect on it, also a dragon will appear and grant you a single wish.
Man, I wonder what that's a reference to.
Yeah, I get what you're trying to say, but who did this particular ball belong to?
Your mom.
There's only one person it could be. It should still be in the gym. I better go find out for sure. Shadow crystal ball added to the evidence. There's something on the ground in front of the incinerator. Looks like a burnt piece of something.
A burnt piece? Like a husk? Hunk? Like a haunt of burning love?
Then we turn Brooklyn. Anyway, this is... looks like a piece of cloth. In the shape? It's part of the sleeve from a button-up shirt. Now that I look at it, it's definitely blood on the cuff, which means it's all that's left is some of the evidence the killer destroyed. But there are lots of people here with white button-up shirts. This isn't enough by itself to figure out who the killer is.
I mean, you could probably see who's it kind of like matches with more because they're not all gonna look the same.
Burnt shirt piece added to the evidence.
So then look up everyone on Google Images and see who has a white cuff.
Yeah,
Okay, I'm fully believing it is just Leon at this point.
it's way in the back part of the trash room.
What gave you that idea?
Good 30 feet from here to the gate. Ah, and it's on right now.
Mm-hmm.
Do you see the green and yellow button stuck in the mouth of the incinerator?
Yes, indeed.
Pretty simple setup. You press the green button, you get going. And the yellow button, you turn it off. Sooner or later, you'll be on clean doing, so make sure you learn this before you leave. Okay? Okay! Huh? Should the new incinerator on. Very strange. I'm quite certain it was off last time I was down here.
Was it a
Perhaps
fairy?
it was the work of a fairy.
Fumi, do you realize what you just said?
No!
No, you said the last time you were here, the incinerator was off.
Ah! Yeah. About that, there can be no mistake. If I've got one thing going for me, it's my memory.
I feel as if...
Yesterday, as soon as I appointed, I came down to check the place out. It definitely wasn't on then. I haven't been back to the trash room since then. And since although when I had a key to open the gate,
Most suspicious.
it should be impossible for the internet to be on. And yet,
That means someone was able to switch on the incinerator without opening the gate. How's that possible?
Monokuma fucking with us.
Incinerator added to the evidence.
No more of this my voice can take.
Mr. Nagi, you seem a little down.
Huh? Really?
If you need any help lifting your spirits, call me anytime.
Come on.
I've got all kinds of Stop. Stop. Stop!
What the fuck is that? What?
Not again!
I got all kinds of smut. Stop! That might help you cheer you up.
Can he die soon? I hate his character.
I hate him.
It's not just because it strains the shit out of my voice.
Well, just because he's kind of an asshole.
Uh,
Yeah, that's mine for sure.
oh shit, I
Probably
turned on
forgot it
auto.
in the laundry room last night. Someone must be come by and snatched me. Left it in the laundry room? That means anyone could have found it and taken it. Shadow Crystal Ball has been updated in the evidence. Five Nights at Freddy's!
Oh, is it class trial time?
Yes.
Woo, baby!
I'm getting tired of waiting. What say we just get started,
No!
It's time for the long-awaited class trial!
Yay.
Now then,
More
I'd like to
tutorials.
appoint a proper location for the proceedings. Please go through the red door on the first floor of the school.
Maybe, you should share the game footage with me.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah, I can't really read anything if I can't really see anything.
No, fuck, Otto. Stop, Otto. Otto, stop. You're late, Makoto. We've all been waiting for you.
I bet you were afraid you would be discovered as the murderer you are.
Let's not jump to conclusions just yet. Save that for the class trial.
Hey, you got your gamepad to work again.
There we can reveal the details of Makoto's crime.
So they really are convinced I did it, but
Well, I did it!
I didn't do it. Me and Sayaka both know that all too well.
Well, what gave you that idea?
Then who is the killer?
Leon. I'm still going with Leon.
The one who murdered Sayaka is really one of us?
Is everyone here? Okay then. Please board the elevator in front of you, which will transport you to the courtroom, where all your fates will be decided. I'll meet you all down there. I'll be waiting.
So I have no choice but to get on this elevator.
Well then.
Let us begin.
Yes, indeed.
Good idea.
Hey,
You scared? No, scared isn't quite right.
Makoto.
Said it before, but it's up to you to uncover the mysteries surrounding this case yourself. If you don't, you'll never come to grips with the truth. I need to uncover the truth of Sayaka's death. I didn't need someone else to tell me to do that.
Yeah, you kind of did, honestly.
In Sayaka's honor, I swear I'll find out who the real killer is. As I raised my voice to try and give myself courage, I turned, trembling with anticipation, towards the elevator. Each step forward, I could feel my heart starting to race faster and faster. Everyone else was already on the elevator when I finally stepped on. The doors closed and the elevator started to move.
That's a big-ass elevator.
The steel box descended with heavy clunking sounds towards the school's basement. I wonder if this is how a death row inmate feels when his time finally comes.
Oh,
Rather than that, it's not... Is it not more like a defendant waiting to receive his judgment?
Oblivious to our shared anxiety, the elevator lowered us further and further into the bowels of the school. You finally arrived! What do you think? Doesn't it feel like a real courtroom?
No.
It's like a Hollywood movie set, right?
No.
Not even close. It's total shit.
Well now.
Okay, everyone find your assigned seats and sit down.
Yoo-hoo!
Hurry up now. Hurry up. We did what he said and found our seats.
What seats? You're all standing.
The seats were arranged in a giant circle.
Again, what fucking seats? Also, I like how Sayaka is just a picture with her face crossed out.
Exactly. It was set up so that everyone could see everyone else. Which also meant it'd be easy for everyone to transfer their attention and ease onto everyone else. The air seemed to grow heavy as we sat there.
Stand there. Just standing, assholes.
And so, the curtain on our first case opened. A deadly judgment, a deadly deception, a deadly betrayal.
I don't like that angle for what's his face.
A deadly riddle, a deadly defense, a deadly faith. A deadly class trial.
Let's begin with a basic explanation of the class trial. So, your votes will determine the results. If you can figure out who done it, then only they will receive punishment. But if you pick the wrong one, then I'll punish everyone besides the blackened, and the one that deceived everyone else will graduate.
And the killer really is one of us, right?
Of course.
Okay, but what about that other empty seat? There were only 15 of us to begin with, so why are there 16 seats?
Oh, no reason. It's just that our little courtroom here can technically fit up to 16 people. Okay, that about does it for the preamble. Get ready to get started. First up is the case summary. Now, let the class trial begin.
About to begin. The debate to decide who we think the killer is. Anything I found, anything I noticed, I have to be ready to speak up about everything. Because this isn't just about me. Everyone's lives are on the line.
I assert that the one who was murdered was Miss Sayaka Maizono! Yeah, we know that part already.
And the murder took place in Makoto's room.
In the bathroom. So it seems most likely that the killer must have taken her by surprise while she was in the bathroom. She didn't even have a chance to resist.
Something's off about what was just said. Because if Sayaka hadn't resisted at all, there's no explanation for what happened in my room.
She didn't even have a chance to resist.
No, that's wrong. Just a second, Chihiro. Try to remember how my room looked. With the way things had been damaged, I think we can definitely assume there was a struggle.
A struggle? Between who and who?
Between Sayaka and the killer, of course.
So you're saying Sayaka wasn't caught by surprise in the bathroom? She must have been attacked in the main room first.
You know, it would help if their portraits changed at all.
The killer followed her in, and that's where they finished the job.
That much should have been obvious after taking one look at the scene. It shouldn't even need explaining.
Sorry.
Okay, so what's next?
Next is the subject of the murder weapon.
Wow, this is starting to sound like a real trial.
Shut up.
We need to determine what was used to kill Sayaka.
So what was used to kill her?
There was some kind of sharp object thrust into her stomach. Without a doubt, that is the murder weapon.
So the killer used some random knife they had on him.
No, that's wrong.
Nope.
No. I do think it was a knife, but not just any knife. I'm almost positive it was a kitchen knife.
Huh? A kitchen knife?
After the murder, we discovered that one of the knives from the kitchen was missing.
Which means that knife must be the murder weapon.
Oh, yeah. I guess that makes sense. You could sort of see the weapon sticking out of her stomach. And if you look real close, I could totally see that being a kitchen knife.
Okay, so the murder weapon was a kitchen knife, but where does that get us? I mean, we all know Makoto killed her, right?
That's right. Makoto's room was the scene of the crime. What more proof do you need?
Hold on a second.
Let's draw our conclusions after we presented our arguments. Otherwise, what's the point of the trial?
Well, we can talk all we want. It's not going to change that conclusion.
I don't think that's true at all. I'm sure if we keep at it, something new will reveal itself.
You really believe that?
He's right. There's got to be a breakthrough somewhere just waiting for us to find it. So I know damn well I'm not the killer.
So I guess there's no question that the kitchen knife was the murder weapon. But where does that get us?
Makoto must have taken it from the kitchen, right? He did it in secret, when nobody was in the dining hall.
No, that's wrong. Okay, wait.
Oh, damn it, the music stopped. I was liking
Did
that.
you take the knife from the kitchen?
Next, you're gonna say you're not the killer, right? Go ahead and say it all you want.
Well, what if I have a witness? What do you think, Hina?
Huh?
Remember what you were telling me earlier? Just to be perfectly clear, the knife disappeared while you were in the dining hall, correct?
Yeah, that's right.
And at any point while you were there, did you ever see me come into the dining hall?
No, I don't think so.
You don't think so?
No, he definitely wasn't there.
The knife disappeared while Hina was in the dining hall, but I wasn't there the entire time. In other words, there's no way I could have taken the knife.
I mean, yeah, sure, we'll go with that.
Okay, then what about this? What if the idiot swimmer girl and Makoto are in on it together and lying to protect each other?
Idiot swimmer girl?
Let's bully the blonde chick.
Oh, and more importantly,
This is
why would I
unrelated.
get involved in something like that?
Speaking of which, I'd like to ask the bear, if there is an accomplice,
And the bowl.
they also become blackened?
So you ask, and so I shall answer. Each murder is allowed to have an accomplice, but only the one who does the killing will get to graduate.
So in other words, two people can work together, but one of them has no chance of profiting from it.
Then there's no way anyone would work together, right?
But what if they did work together and they just didn't know about the rule?
Good grief! Enough already! No, okay? There are no accomplices in this case! Oops! Did I say that out loud?
Anyway, I didn't go to the dining hall, and I didn't take the knife. So I'm not the killer.
Okay, so then, who did take the knife?
Hina seems the obvious candidate. After all, she just said she was in the dining hall.
No way! I swear it wasn't me!
Sure, but can you or anyone else prove that?
Yes.
I can.
That's right! Sakura was with me the entire time I was drinking my tea.
Well, that means Sakura could have took it.
I
I hate to have to ask, but just to be sure, Sakura's...
Me.
Right.
But then, couldn't either one of them have grabbed the knife?
Actually, no. Because, well,
Just spit it out already.
I stayed in Hina's room last night.
I got so scared thanks to those creepy videos. I wasn't really thinking, I just asked her to stay over. Which means we have airtight alibis. You stayed over? Doesn't that violate one of the school regulations?
We're not allowed to sleep anywhere but the dorms, but it doesn't say we have to stay in our assigned room, so I don't think that's a problem.
It is a problem! A boy and a girl spending the night together? It's unwholesome!
Who wants to tell him?
Who wants to let her?
You are? Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry!
But if it wasn't either of you, then what other possibility is there?
Actually, there is one other possibility. Right, Hina?
Oh, yeah, that's true. One other person did come to the dining hall while we were there.
Why didn't you say so in the first place?
So it's less about choosing what bullet to use and more about timing it right.
Well, later on, when cases get harder, you do have to choose what bullet you use.
Alright.
And time it right.
They're not here anymore.
Someone who's not here.
Sayaka. She's the one who came to the dining hall. And then later, she wound up dead.
Sayaka. Okay, so the person who took the knife from the kitchen was...
I got it! Then, Sayaka is the one who took the knife?
That's the only possibility.
So you're saying the knife she took was then taken from her, and she was killed with it? In that case, you may not have taken the knife, but you still could have killed her.
Hold on. It's still too early to decide conclusively that Makoto is the killer, wouldn't you say? Because you see, if the room did belong to the killer, then they did something most bewildering. Something was missing from the scene of the crime that by all rights should have been there. You know what I'm talking about, don't you?
Now I understand!
Alright, I got it, I guess.
That's right! There wasn't a single hair on the floor!
Wow.
So, the culprit?
Yes. And if I were the culprit, why would I need to get rid of all the hair in my own room? It wouldn't be unusual at all to find my hair at the crime scene if the crime scene is in my room.
Okay, then why wasn't there any hair on the ground?
The killer got rid of it all, of course, to remove any trace that they had ever been there.
Wait, then that means...
Precisely. It's simply beyond reason to believe that the room's owner and the killer are one and the same.
Then, Makoto isn't the culprit?
Are you sure we can decide something so important based solely on the absence of some hair?
Yes.
Yes.
No. There are other reasons that prove why Makoto couldn't have done it.
I would like to hear these reasons.
Do you remember anything remarkable about the bathroom at the scene?
It was a bathroom.
Yes.
There was a dead body in it.
Sayaka was
Yeah.
attacked in the main room first, then fled into the bathroom, right?
Yeah, then they ran after her, got into the bathroom, and stabbed her.
And how did the killer get into the bathroom? Did they have any trouble with it? There was clear evidence left behind. Do you remember, Makoto?
I got it! Evidence that the killer had trouble getting into the bathroom. You're talking...
Huh? The doorknob? What doorknob?
The doorknob for my bathroom. It was completely broken. See how the top part was unscrewed? And the doorknob's about ready to fall off?
Oh, yeah, true. But what does it mean?
In trying to bypass the lock, they ended up nearly removing the entire doorknob. This is another most bewildering act for the room's owner. It proves Makoto is beyond suspicion. The incident took place in Makoto's room. Sayaka was first attacked in the main room. She then fled into the bathroom.
Then the killer ran after her. And they got into the bathroom.
At that point, the killer had to try and bust down the door, because Sayaka had locked it.
No, that's wrong.
Oh my god, he's the brain!
The reason my bathroom didn't open wasn't because it was locked. After all, the girls' rooms are the only ones with locking bathrooms, right?
Yes, now that you mention it, that is true.
Then why didn't your bathroom door open?
Because it was stuck.
Huh? What are you talking about?
My bathroom door doesn't fit in the frame quite right. Monokuma over there can testify to that.
Yup, true as true can be.
So the reason the door didn't open was just because it was stuck. But the killer didn't know that and assumed it was locked. So they tore apart the doorknob to get in.
Okay, but then why would the killer even think the door was locked in the first place? Everyone should have known you can't lock any of the boys' bathrooms.
Killer could easily make that mistake, thanks to one important detail about the scene of the crime.
The killer was convinced the bathroom door was locked. So they didn't know that the door actually couldn't be locked. In other words, the important detail about the scene of the crime was that they didn't know was...
I got it! The killer must not have realized that it was my room.
What? Are you saying the culprit didn't even know where he was? That's inconceivable!
And yet, he's absolutely right.
Say what?
Well, to be more specific, what the killer didn't know was that Makoto and Sayaka had switched rooms, which is what led to the misunderstanding about the bathroom. If Sayaka had been in her own room,
Then there would have been a lock on the door, and they would have had to break through!
So they had no idea how unnecessary their actions were.
Ultimately, we can't know if it came open by force or simply by accident. The killer must have been considerably confused, with no idea how they actually got the door opened.
Regardless, it was a pointless act. Wasting time trying to break down a door that wasn't locked is...
So the killer would have to be someone who didn't know they'd switched rooms? Then
Yeah.
Makoto couldn't have done it.
That's what I've been trying to tell you.
Okay, then who did do it?
Fine, it's fine. Just ask your question.
Oh yeah. Okay, so, well, I was just wondering, how did the culprit get into Makoto's room in the first place?
Yes. How did the killer get inside?
How about this? The killer got in the easy way. They could have knocked and said they wanted to talk or something, and Ms. Maizono just let him in.
No, that can't be it either.
Oh, trying to argue against me? Sounds like someone doesn't know his place.
Shut up.
Hello? Why exactly can't that be it?
Because you said...
Because she asked me to do something in particular because of how frightened she was. That's the answer right there. There's no way Sayaka let someone in because...
I got it! Because Sayaka was already scared, remember? That's why she asked me to switch rooms in the first place. Knowing what she'd been through, I just can't believe she would have opened the door for anyone.
What if her being scared was a lie? I know you don't want to consider it, but look at this and tell me. Can you still deny the possibility?
There's something I want to talk to you about. Just us. In 5 minutes, come see me in my room. Check the nameplates to make sure you don't get the wrong room, okay?
I found a notepad during my search, and I shaded in the top sheet with a pencil. And these are the words that appear. It's a pretty old-fashioned technique, but even the classics can be surprisingly useful sometimes. Oh, and I should also mention, I found the notepad on the desk in Makoto's room.
Huh?
Which means only someone who had been in Makoto's room before the incident could have written it.
Then either it was Makoto who lived there, or Sayaka who switched rooms for a single night.
Oh, Makoto, did you write this?
No, I didn't. But
Of course you didn't, because the note also bears a perfectly legible signature. Sayaka's signature.
Then that note. Sayaka wrote it?
but why? Why would she write that?
The note was likely her way of getting in touch with a certain someone. She must have slid it under their door to let them know she wanted to meet with them in secret.
Would you like to hear what I have to say? Very well then. Pay attention. Sayaka and Makoto switched rooms, correct? But in the note, the place they were asked to come to, it specifically says, my room.
I see. So if someone read that note, then they would have gone to Sayaka's room.
Exactly. The room that Makoto was staying in. So in other words, even if someone did read the note and did what it said, they would not have any connection to what happened.
It certainly would seem that way.
Killer went to my room instead of Sayaka's. And that's the reason for that is... has to be because of what got switched between me and Sayaka's rooms.
No, that's wrong. The nameplates on my and Sayaka's rooms got switched.
They got switched?
My brain is so used to Ace Attorney that when the music's not stopping when I get it right, my brain's going.
That's right. The nameplates got switched, just like the rooms themselves. As a result, the nameplate on Sayaka's room actually had Makoto's name. And the nameplate on Makoto's room had Sayaka's.
So what you're saying is, the room Sayaka was staying in was actually marked as her room.
Then, if someone did do what the note said, they would end up at Makoto's room where Sayaka was.
Plus, their rooms are right next to each other, so switching the nameplates would be no problem. And the one who switched the names was... well, of course it wasn't you, right, Makoto?
Right?
Yeah, it would have been against our whole entire fucking plan.
Okay,
Yeah.
then who did it?
I still think it's you.
There's only one person who could have switched the nameplates.
I got it! Me and Sayaka were the only ones who ever knew about us switching rooms. So the only other person besides me who would even know to switch the nameplates was Sayaka.
You can also infer as much from her note. She specifically tells the reader to check the nameplate. She would only have written that if she knew the nameplates had been switched.
Wow.
But why would she switch them in the first place? We just have to figure out what happened during the fight, right?
That reminds me. There was a replica sword at the murder scene. Was that perhaps used during the fight?
Oh yeah. What's the deal with that sword?
Sayaka suggested I should hold on to it. I thought it might come in handy if I had to defend myself. It seems pretty likely that the killer used it to break Sayaka's right wrist.
It looked more. I got the implication that she used it to protect herself, but
How the hell could you possibly know that's what broke her wrist?
okay.
The reason I know Sayaka's wrist was broken with the fake sword is because when you look at her wrist, there's no doubt.
I got it! All you have to do is take a good look at her broken wrist, and it should become pretty clear. Right there where her wrist is all swollen, there's something glittery there. See?
Is that gold?
It sure is. Specifically, the gold coating from the replica sword. You barely have to touch that stuff, and it'll stick right to you. And there's some on her wrist because...
I got it! Because she got hit with the sword, right there on her wrist!
I see. And so the truth draws ever closer.
Alright, then it's about time to solve this mystery. When the fighting broke out, the culprit grabbed the sword, and that's when the first blow was dealt. A sword-based sneak attack!
And that's what broke Miss Maizono's wrist.
So, she tried to fight back. She grabbed the kitchen knife she had hidden away. But then the culprit took that from her too.
And they killed her with it.
And that's exactly what happened. Sword-based sneak attack!
No, that's wrong! Actually, no. I don't think the fight started with the sword.
Huh? Why not?
Because the sword's sheath had been scratched. See? There's a gash in it. Like someone cut into it with something sharp.
Something sharp? You mean like the kitchen knife? That was the only sharp thing found at the scene.
Stop jumping ahead. Slow down and explain it so I get what the hell's going on.
If the sword was used first, there wouldn't be any explanation for the scratch on the sheath. If you are going to attack with the sword, you'd take it out of the sheath first, right?
No.
That's true. With the sheath on, it'd be heavy and bulky and useless as shit.
Do you guys know what a bludgeoning weapon is?
Okay, so how did the sheath get damaged?
If they got attacked with the kitchen knife, maybe they grabbed the sword as a defensive impulse. In that situation, there wouldn't be any time to actually unsheath the sword.
So you're saying the sword was initially used to defend against an attack from the knife?
Which means whoever had the kitchen knife was the one who attacked first.
I think I get it! So here's how it all played out. The culprit came in, found the kitchen knife hidden there somewhere. Then they took the knife and attacked Sayaka before she knew what was happening. So she grabbed the sword to defend herself, but then the culprit took that from her too. Then, after they broke her wrist with the sword, they took the knife and finished it.
Sorry, but I don't think Sayaka used the sword to defend herself.
What? How the hell can you not think that?
Because she never held the sword at all. There's a certain part of her body that makes this clear.
Part of her body that shows she never used a sword. If you wanted to use a sword, which part of your body would have to touch it?
You're talking about her palms, right? The palms of her hands were perfectly clean, so I don't think she ever picked up the sword.
How can you know that just by looking at her palms?
Like I said before, the gold coating on that sword comes right off. All you have to do is touch it. In fact, if you look, you'll notice that a lot of the gold has already come off the handle. It's safe to assume that's because whoever used the sword got some of it on their hands. There's really no way she could have picked it up and come away completely clean.
There's no way Sayaka washed the gold coating off her hands, because there's a certain regulation that talks about what happens to the bathrooms at nighttime.
I got it! to the Monokuma file, Sayaka's time of death was around 1:30 a.m. In other words, at nighttime. And the water in the bathroom shuts off at nighttime, right?
So anyway, if Sayaka never touched the sword, then that means the killer is the only one who used the sword. But hold on. If that's right, then the one who damaged the sheath with the kitchen knife was...
The one who damaged the sheath would have to be the one without the sword.
Sayaka? She had the kitchen knife?
But we already said that the attack started with...
The person with the knife attacked first, and the sword was used as an impromptu defense.
Then the one who attacked first was...
Sayaka?
Now do you understand? She wasn't a blameless victim in this.
No, far from it. It's almost as if she'd been planning to commit a murder of her own.
What?
She took the knife from the kitchen, then invited the culprit to the room she was staying in. And if it's true that she had the kitchen knife and attacked without provocation...
Indeed. These are all the actions of an assailant.
Which brings up another point. Makoto, Sayaka was the one who suggested you two switch rooms, correct? Maybe the reason she wanted to switch rooms was so that she could pin the crime on you. That is a possibility, is it not?
Sayaka wanted to... on me?
Oh, all that's why she switched the names?
But doesn't that plan seem a little risky? For one thing, even if her plan worked, Mr. Naegi would just tell everyone they'd switched rooms.
I don't know. I'm not sure our soft-hearted Makoto is capable of that kind of cutthroat behavior. I'm sure Sayaka realized the same thing, which is why out of all of us, she asked him to switch rooms.
Plus, she was the ultimate pop sensation. A totally forgettable kid. Or a national superstar. Who are you more likely to believe?
Wait, then you're saying she had this all planned out?
Holy
Honestly, I would choose a totally normal kid considering today's circumstances.
God damn it.
But in the end, her plan...
This game is also like, what, 2009?
I think it's 2015.
Oh yeah, we gotta decide who we think did it.
Makoto, right now you just need to concentrate on figuring out the answer to this mystery. If we can't uncover who murdered Sayaka, it's over for all of us.
Is it really all over? Obviously, I'm committed to finding out who killed her. But what can I do? I mean, as far as clues go, there's nothing left.
It's easy just to say, hey, decide who did it. But there just aren't any more clues, right?
No, that's wrong. There still might be one clue left. Sayaka's dying message.
The dying message. She wrote something on the wall behind her, remember? 11037.
What the heck do those numbers mean?
They're not numbers.
11037?
Hey, Chihiro. You're a computer nerd or whatever, right? You should know all about numbers and shit.
No, that's not... Yes, I'm a programmer, but I don't see any kind of meaning in these numbers.
Of course. It's because they're not numbers.
Oh, yeah, it looks like...
Huh? What? What?
No, it's just... look at the numbers, assuming they're not numbers. Don't these first two, 1-1, look less like two numbers and more like one letter?
Ah, you're right. The connecting line is barely there, so I assumed it was 1-1, but looking at it now, you could also read it as an N.
Whoa, you might have finally just said something worth a shit.
Our little gray cells are really getting excited now.
But even if that really is an N037 doesn't make any more sense than before.
Rotate the image 180 degrees.
Huh. Rotate it. I think maybe I see something.
Oh my god. Now I see. She wrote down the killer's name.
Huh?
Thanks for pointing it out.
Just shot past the clue part and right on to who did it. So, whose name did she write?
180 degrees, it should become crystal clear.
Here's my answer. The key to solving this mystery was simply to rotate the writing 180 degrees. If you
No
turn the
shit.
message around, it becomes the letters L-E-O-N. L-E-O-N. Or more accurately, Leon.
What the hell are you talking about? It's just a coincidence. It's just a bunch of random squiggles that happen to look like my name.
Oh, it's not random at all. She wrote that message on the wall behind her as she was leaning up against it. In that position, she couldn't move to write normally, and had to write upside down, as it were. And as a result, when you look at it standing in front of her, it ends up getting flipped. Try it for yourself if you want. Write something sitting like her, and the letters will be inverted.
That sounds like one hell of a stretch to me. I'm the killer? You can't just go and say shit like that.
If you're not the killer, then why did you try to destroy the evidence?
Huh?
You know what I'm talking about, right, Makoto? The evidence Leon tried to get rid of?
I got it! You mean the burnt shirt piece I found laying on the ground by the incinerator, right?
As the killer stabbed Sayaka, they must have gotten some of her blood on them. And to dispose of the shirt covered in the victim's blood, they threw it into the incinerator.
But one piece burned off and got left behind.
And the killer didn't notice. If they had, they most certainly would have panicked. Isn't that right, Leon?
That alone isn't enough. But there are some other points that may reveal the truth.
Are you finally starting to understand? The answers to all the riddles are right here.
Yeah, I think so. I got it! If we look closely at how the shirt was disposed of, we should be able to figure out who the killer is.
Oh. That, for a minute I'm like there, I'm like, I don't know which to choose. And then I thought about it for 3 seconds. The door was locked.
Yeah.
So you'd have to throw it.
Exactly. Oh my god, John has his brain cells. His gray matter's going wild. It's the highest brain functionality I've seen in years.
Who's the only one here? Who's the one here that'd be great at throwing something? The baseball player.
You can't reach the incinerator without opening the gate in front of the trash room, right? And
We literally just had a 30-second monologue about this.
to turn it on either. You need the key to get in, and the one with the key was the person on cleaning duty. So the killer had to be whoever was in charge of taking care of the trash, right? The key to the trash room. Whoever was on cleaning duty must have had it, right?
So the only one who could get to the incinerator was the person in charge of the trash?
And you'd have to get close to the incinerator
in order to destroy the evidence.
No, that's wrong. Hold on. I think I know how someone could dispose of the evidence without using the trash room key.
But if you can't get past the gate, you couldn't possibly turn on the incinerator, could you?
Yes, you could. If you used this. I got it! The killer simply took aim at the incinerator switch and threw the ball through a gap in the gate. All they had to do was hit that switch, and the incinerator would come to life.
Someone threw a gap in the gate?
Remember what you said before, Hifumi? Hifumi had the key, So the only way the incinerator could have been turned on without his knowledge, without opening the gate. Once they'd gotten the incinerator going, all they had to do was ball up the shirt and...
Hey, come on! What the hell is this?
Your mom.
All you have to do is look at the scene to know that the killer never actually went inside the trash room. The shards of broken glass, the incinerator left running, the piece of shirt that escaped the fire. If the killer had been on cleaning duty, the evidence would have been taken care of much more thoroughly.
Wait, no, just hold on.
But the distance from the gate to the incinerator has to be at least 30 feet, right? The pinpoint accuracy you'd need to throw a glass ball that far and hit something that small. Could someone really do that?
That's right. There's no way. It'd be impossible.
Difficult, absolutely. Impossible? I don't think so. Because the killer is the ultimate baseball star. Isn't that right, Leon?
Do you have any idea how stupid you sound right now?
A target 30 feet away would surely be little challenge for the ultimate baseball star.
You can't be serious. I'm not the killer. These goddamn shipper brains have got it all wrong, I'm telling you.
You still won't admit it? Okay then, Makoto. Go ahead and review the incident one more time to make his crime perfectly clear. And with that, we can end.
I think I'd better take one more look back at the case from the beginning. Last night, the killer went to the room Sayaka was in. In other words, my room. From what we can tell, Sayaka invited that person there intending to kill them. She attacked them with the knife she'd taken from the kitchen earlier. But then something happened that she wasn't prepared for. They grabbed the fake sword I put in my room and fought back. During the struggle, a strike from the sword broke Sayaka's right wrist. And that's when she lost her grip on the kitchen knife. Finding herself cornered, Sayaka panicked and ran into the bathroom. The killer went after her, but couldn't get the bathroom door open. What they didn't know was that my bathroom door got stuck easily, and there was a trick to opening it. Sayaka knew about that because I told her, but of course the killer had no way of knowing. So instead, the killer forced the door open, took the kitchen knife, and stabbed Sayaka. But with what strength she had remaining, Sayaka left to keep the killer from noticing. She wrote it on the wall behind her. And with that, all her strength was gone. With Sayaka dead, the killer quickly began destroying the evidence. First, they took off their shirt, which was covered in their victim's blood. Then they took the lint roller in my room and cleaned up the entire area. They wanted to make sure they got rid of any trace they'd ever been there. Afterwards, the killer headed to the trash room to destroy their bloody shirt. They tried to burn the shirt using the incinerator there, but the trash room was blocked off by an especially sturdy gate, preventing access to the incinerator. So they came up with a plan to use Hiro's crystal ball, which he left in the laundry room. The killer managed to throw the ball through the gap in the gate and hit the incinerator switch. For any normal person, that'd be an impossible throw. But the killer had the confidence to take a shot. And that's because the killer was the ultimate baseball star. The crystal ball, thrown with absolute precision, hit the switch on the incinerator, which then quickly roared to life. Having destroyed the final piece of evidence, they left the area with, I imagine, a sigh of relief. But there was one thing they missed. Part of the shirt they'd thrown into the fire burnt away and fell out of the incinerator. The killer didn't notice this, and so left behind a piece of indisputable evidence. Isn't that right, Leon? It would appear that Hiro simply forgot his crystal ball in the laundry room. You went there to try and wash the blood out of your shirt, and that's where you saw it, right? Seeing the ball, you thought of a way to take care of everything.
So, Leon, do you object to anything that's been said?
Do I object? Hell yes, I object! Of course I do! I object! Just a bunch of stupid theories! You need evidence! Where's the evidence?
We just showed you like several pieces, dude.
Several very convincing pieces.
It's bullshit and
Very
I refuse to
definitive!
Well then, I guess this is as good a time as any to present the evidence that proves you did it. Makoto, I believe you're in possession of that evidence?
Where's your proof?
This should prove it.
There you go. It's not so hard the first time.
Oh, don't worry, we're gonna get really fucked in the later ones.
I was gonna say, the later ones not only get faster, there's multiple bullets to choose from, and they add reloading.
We ain't finishing this game.
I wonder what kind of tool the killer used to remove that.
I mean, it had to be a screwdriver, right?
Oh yeah, I'm pretty sure the toolkits we got each had one inside.
And that must be what he used. There aren't any other tools anywhere.
But the toolkit in my room had clearly never been used.
That's because the culprit didn't know it was your room. They thought they were in Sayaka's room.
Only the boys got toolkits, so the killer naturally assumed there wouldn't be one in there.
Okay, then whose toolkit did the killer use?
Stupid, stupid, stupid!
It had to be their very own toolkit.
Stupid, 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 stupid!
Leon, would you mind showing us your toolkit? If I'm right about this, then the screwdriver will show some evidence of being used.
Also, the fact that they mentioned that the seal is still on Makoto's.
Yeah. So, you know, if the seal was off.
Huh? And if you say you used it for something else, you'll have to explain exactly when, where, and why.
And let me say this right now. I lost it isn't an excuse at this point.
Stupid. Stupid.
So, you have no rebuttal?
Then it would seem we are finished here.
Okay, then let's get excited! Who will be chosen as the Blackened? Will you make the right choice? Or the dreadfully wrong one? What's it gonna be? What's it gonna be?
Oh, looks like you were right on me. The Blackened, in this case, the one that killed Sayaka, was Leon Kawada.
Huh? Hey, hold on.
Hold on a second. Leon, did you really kill Sayaka? I don't believe it.
You son of a bitch!
Son of a bitch! What the hell is wrong with you?
I didn't have a choice.
It was kill or be killed, just like Flowey from that game. I killed her first. One wrong step, and then you'd be the one standing here. It was complete chance that I wound up like this.
My question is, why did Sayaka choose him to kill?
Because Makoto would have not come. Remember what they said?
No, not really.
It's like, what do you call it? I won't open the door no matter what, even if I know it's you. So if Sayaka did open the door, obviously Makoto would be like,
No, why was Leon the one she chose to murder, though?
Random.
I was just unlucky. That's all. Hey, come on!
You expect me just to accept my death? Everything's become clear. The decision was made right after all. But when I think about that, honestly, I'd be better off if we'd been wrong. Because if what you came up with was really the truth, then that truth is that Sayaka was trying to frame me. But even if that's true, I can't say she was wrong. After all, the mastermind. It's all because of that video. Even I couldn't handle what I saw in there. If I was her, and the video actually had something to do with me, can't even imagine. The one thing that was more important to her than anything else, her dreams, her friends, to have seen something like that happen to him. And Sayaka. I did whatever it took to reach that dream. I mean it. Even some things that weren't so pleasant. And that's why Sayaka, for the friends that meant so much to her, that's why she betrayed me.
Yes, indeed.
Now then, since you so magnificently revealed the identity of the killer during the class trial, the blackened, Leon Kuwata, will receive his punishment.
Punishment?
Stop it. I've had enough of this.
Oh, are you sure? You were closer there than anyone, were you not? He killed your precious Sayaka. Do you understand?
I can't say Leon is solely to blame. Of course, I don't plan on blaming Sayaka either. Because the one to blame is him. Swah? If it weren't for you, this never would have happened to Sayaka or Leon. We shouldn't be fighting each other. We should be fighting against the one who put us in this situation, the mastermind. Uh-oh. Did you awaken to your sense of justice? Well, it just so happens that there's nothing more unethical than an unwavering sense of justice. After all, it's people with that sort of mentality that perpetuate war all over the world. Is that the kind of justice that's awakened within you?
Yes. Yes!
Shut up!
No.
Okay, well, anyway, more importantly, let's hurry up and get to what everyone's been waiting for. The punishment.
I'm begging you, please, don't do this.
Hey, come on now.
Or begging. No more excuses. You must pay the penalty for breaking the rules. Society demands it.
Stop, please.
Now then, I prepared a very special punishment.
For Leon Kuwata, the ultimate baseball star.
No, 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 no.
Let's give it everything we've got. It's punishment time.
No!
What the fuck?
Exactly.
So if each person's death is somewhat connected to the type of person they are, the fuck was that guy's connection to space in the intro?
Because fuck you, that's why. That was the true face of despair. Yeah, it was kind of fucked up. I mean, if we can't call it that, what else could we call it?
Disturbing as shit!
Cruel and unusual. Woohoo! Extreme! Man, my adrenaline is pumping right out of control.
Do we really have to keep doing this? I just can't take it!
Well, hey, if you don't like it. All you gotta do is swear to cut all ties with the outside world and accept living here forever. But that's only if every single one of you can get on board with that.
Damn you!
Bang. Fuck you! Why the fuck are you doing all this? All this evil shit to us?
What the heck?
Evil? You make it sound like I'm some dark, awful, secret society type of guy.
Say what?
Or in this case, a dark, awful, secret society type of bear. You're trapped, are you? Yes. Well, I'm sure once you learn all the mysteries of the school, your thinking will change for sure. You'll think, boy, isn't it so wonderful how we all get to live here forever?
What does this mean?
What are you trying to say?
Hey,
I feel like there's some deeper meaning hidden in there.
Wow, no shit.
Just like before.
Chills!
Anyway, let's get back to the Blacken's punishment. That's what everyone is waiting for, after all.
hey,
When you say everyone, who exactly are you referring to?
Oh my god. Those mysterious benefactors watching. It's Squid Games!
Oh my god! Sorry, I've said everything I gotta say. I need to save some of the fun for later. And just like that, he was gone.
just a second.
Makoto, can I talk to you for a second? She moved in close and whispered into my ear.
Makoto.
Before we head back, there's something I want to talk to you about. It's about Sayaka, isn't it? I'm surprised you figured it out.
Listen.
I told you before the class trial started. You had to figure out the mystery of this case yourself. You wanted me to realize how Sayaka betrayed me by myself, didn't you? The thought never even crossed my mind. I feel like such a fool, becoming such an easy target like that.
It's true.
Sayaka meant to double-cross you. That's a fact that you can never change. But even to the very end, she wasn't sure of her decision. That's why. As she lay dying, she was thinking of you. She was thinking of me? You can't just say something like that. I mean, there's no way you can know that. Only Sayaka would know for sure, and we can't ask her now.
However,
Even if you can't ask her, you can infer it, don't you think? Her final thought was how she could protect you. What?
so
The fact that she used her last ounce of her energy to leave her dying message proves it. If she didn't care what happened to you, she never would have left the message. Well, maybe she just wanted to get back at the person who had killed her.
certainly.
That's certainly one possibility. But I don't think that's what it was.
Anyway,
She was uncertain. She wasn't sure she could kill someone or deceive you, which is why her plan failed. Her hesitation attracted failure.
Right.
It's almost ironic when you think about it.
Isn't it ironic?
Why are you telling me all this?
So I can make you more depressed and point and laugh. Ha 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 ha!
Because you're the kind of person who can overcome this. Because you can move past the depths of your friends, Sayaka and Leon, and keep moving forward.
Correct.
Without someone like that, the others would never be able to break free of such a desperate situation.
I just want to point out, I like how everyone else looks like really scared and shit, except for Sakura and Ellipses Man.
It just and Sakura just looks directly at you and zooms in on her face. I'm watching you. Move past their deaths. I could never do that. No. I'm going to carry them with me the rest of my life. How could I possibly move past something like that? Well, I have high expectations for you. As she said that, she revealed the smallest smile.
Hey.
By the way, I have to admit, I'm curious. How did you know I wanted to talk to you about Sayaka? Oh, well, I'm psychic.
What?
Huh? Kidding. I just have pretty good intuition.